process. Okay, so let's start. So, okay, every nice relax, extract, and hands on your hips. Okay, slowly, hand me each, and show me, and stand, she, go, look, each, touch, go, go. Okay, left hand out, right hand, get ready for Gakuzuki. Slowly, each, and back. Knee, stand, she, long count, go, roll, she, touch, go, go. Okay, each, knee, stand, she, go, go. Okay, nice and itch, and show me, and sa, she, go, touch, go, jo, and how many, Gakuzuki, me, some, she, oh, look, guys, today we're going to kind of do a little bit about how to use your hips, different ways to use your hips. I'll explain more as we go along, but first and foremost, most basic format of using your hips, which is like this front hip lean, rotating from here back, maintaining your stance stability, trying to increase flexibility of your hips, trying to increase the twitch, the dynamic nature of your hips. So that's what I want you to just practice for now. Just this Gakuzuki from here. Try to synchronize that rotation of your hip with the punch of your hand, not 1, 2, but at the same time. So there's always body mass behind that technique. Understand? Thumbs up if you can understand me. Okay, guys, just try Gakuzuki. I'm going to look at the camera. So sorry, look at the people, see how you're doing. Just give it a go. Okay, maybe 1 minute. Try 30 seconds on each side. Okay, Yame, good, good. Okay, guys, we're not going to spend too long about this, but we're going to just do 10 more on each side. I want you to think about a couple of things. I just kind of mentioned it to a few people, but okay, like really super basic, keep your head up. Like no one ever gets good at karate without kind of looking down and trying to see what their body is doing. But after a certain point, you got to have that kind of like natural understanding of where your body is without actually visually checking. And the moment that you start looking, you break your line and everything else is kind of cascades into a bad technique. So above all else, keep your back straight, yeah? Second point, well, let me just lower this a little bit. Ross was using this camera before and he's very tall. I don't need that height. Okay, one other thing, guys, is for now, kind of just, I don't want you to have this 1, 2 feeling. This kind of kime. I just want you to kind of snap your technique. So it's about kind of developing this twitch from your core. So from here, that full rotation, of course, but twitch and then relax back. Twitch and then relax back. You shouldn't think about having to make that hard pullback. Understand? A few things. Okay, good. Okay, let's try. Your left leg forward, left hand. Okay, Gakuzuki, right hand. Itch, knee, sun, chi, go, look, sit, punch, go, jump. Okay, change, 10 more. Itch, knee, sun, chi, go, look, sit, punch, come, go. Yummy. Good. Good. Okay, so guys, this is most fundamental, yeah? The first building block about how to develop a strong center, develop a strong twitch, develop that ability to use your core well. So this is the first step, basic hip rotation that we do, like in Gakuzuki. Okay, so this is kind of leading from our front hip, and so much of what we do, especially we're in basics and stay still, is we kind of rotate around that front hip. Body goes back, body goes forward. Mass goes backwards, mass goes forward. Okay, I want exactly the same feeling, but back hip rotation. So I want you to start from Kizamazuki position, then think about kind of isolating your back hip and rotating around that axis. So front leg comes back a little bit and you're preparing for Kizamazuki. And again, you're going to replicate the same thing, Kizamazuki back, Kizamazuki back. Your stance is going to move. You're going to go through like Shizentai, one shoulder width long, to full stance, and then back to Shizentai again. Where it's that back hip rotation. Rotate, 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 rotate. Understand? Okay, try get that right, guys. A couple of minutes. If you've got any questions or unmute yourself, please feel free to ask. Okay, Yame. Mark T, we're doing Kizamazuki now, not Gakuzuki. Okay, Yame, right. Okay, so, guys, like maybe, like we don't practice that kind of dynamic twitch into Kizamazuki that much. So I'm seeing a couple of things. I'm seeing like people kind of stopping over stepping on Kizamazuki, and then maybe coming to here, then going back. Because we're used to kind of maybe having that Gakuzuki feeling, but then stopping in this kind of hammy feeling. I want you to do the opposite. This is the rest point. Not rest in the sense that you're relaxing, but like you're still. And it's this leg that's primed, ready to go. It's going to fire your body mass forward. You're going to rotate around this back hip, so this leading part of your body rotates and drives in as you come back. And it's a training drill, so go for that maximum rotation. Of course, you don't have to kind of rotate that much to create power, but it's a training drill, so we're going to maximize our use of our body, just like we maximize our stance and maximize preparation, all that kind of stuff. So kind of maximizing that stuff. And twitch. There's twitch in and back feeling. So you're snapping and coming back. You're not holding this form at any point. There's twitch and then come back. Understand? Guys, I'll give you 30 more seconds. If you have a question, unmute yourself, ask now.
Sensei?
Yes.
Is it just a matter of rotating on the axis of the back hip, or are you also driving your weight forward?
Yeah, well, by the fact that you're kind of rotating around your back hip, your body, like if I'm rotating around here, my body mass is moving forward. Oh. So there is a sense that your back leg is driving. So like, you think where my back hip now, and I'm going to drive into this position, then you can see that whole of my body has moved forward as that straightens. For sure, you're rotating around this hip to get that body mass moving, but you're also using that leg to drive that body mass into a direction. And then from there, twitching and coming back. Okay? Everybody good? Any questions? Everybody okay? Thumbs up? A few thumbs up. Okay, let's try spin power. Let's try. Okay, so always nice just to make that Kizamazuki point first. That's your gonna go 2 point. Okay, then retract back. Okay, 1 count. Go ahead. Inch, knee, 10, cheek, go, look, cheek, punch, go, down. Okay, change. Make that Kizamazuki. Come back. Okay, 10 more. Inch, knee, 10, cheek, go, look, cheek, punch, come, down. Yummy. Good. Good. So guys, this is like second building block, yeah? Second building block of trying to understand how to use your hips correctly. More importantly, kind of developing the physicality, the strength of your hips, the twitch of your hips, the flexibility of your hips. You're developing the physicality to become explosive with your core. And once you get that, then adding those weapons, your limbs, is secondary. Whereas this development of your core that we're trying to work on. Understand? Excellent, good. Okay, so that was very much kind of full rotation. We're going from a kind of relaxed or 1 point hammy to Shomin and back, or opposite Shomin to hammy back. Okay, this time we're going to go Shomin to Shomin. We'll just do Shomin to Shomin. But this classic hip vibration. So from here, take that. And then make Tokusuki. So from here, you're in Shomin. Okay, you want to relax a little bit. As soon as you kind of take away the tension in your glute, as long as you don't allow your bump to stick out, you'll kind of drift back slightly. You're just allowing that drift to come back. Drift to come back, and then you're going to synchronize the firing of that hip with the firing of the hand. So again, you're going to relax your hip, and as this leading hand comes out, you're going to synchronize the locking of this hip to the Chokuzuki. Okay, so this hip vibration. Yeah. Knee. 10, cheek, go, look, cheek, punch, go, jaw. Okay, change, make Gakuzuki. Okay, exactly the same. So relax that glute, let your hip relax, then fire it in again. Itch, knee, 10, cheek, go, look, cheek, punch, go, jaw. Okay, yummy. So guys, look, this is a training exercise. Like, you know, there's not a grading syllabus in the Shotokan world that doesn't involve Sanbon-tsuki or Tobikonde Sanbon-tsuki. Like these 3 punches, or you know, every grading syllabus does it, from the JK and all its derivatives. And there's a great impracticality of that combination. Yeah, you wouldn't, for example, step forward and punch Jordan, and then you've missed. So you hit the same distance, and then you hit the same distance again, or you hit. If you hit, you hit. If you miss, there's no point punching on the same line. So there's no practicality to that, like most Kihon. So what you're trying to do, you're trying to kind of develop coordination, strength, the kind of physicality, the ability to conceptualize how you use your body. So think about it in those terms rather than just trying to create power. Because for sure, if you've done Oizuki, then maybe this little bit of relax, maybe the Gakuzuki will have a little bit of power because you're shifting your body mass forward on that point of impact. But this one is really weak. So you'd have to kind of make body movement forward to create power. So forget about making power, try to just synchronize your body. Understand? Yeah. Okay, so a couple of minutes, guys. Just try. It's about developing that ability to fast twitch your core. From that engage point, relax, engage again, relax, engage again, relax, engage again. Okay, each time you're synchronizing it with the finishing of your technique. Try a couple of minutes. If you've got any questions, ask. Okay, Ame. Good, good. Guys, any questions about that? Everybody good? Nothing? Excellent.
Sensei.
Yes.
So we do not want to exaggerate. You know, some folks, they wind up the hip in order to almost over exaggerate that hip vibration, right? We are just, it's all compression and like you said, twitch.
Yeah, correct. So I can't see who's saying that.
It's Vince Lewis from Cincinnati.
Okay, yeah. So what I would say is that you know, like this is just about fine tuning and being able to develop like fast twitch. So you know, we spend a lot like when we were kids, for example. I often talk about like how we learn how to kind of snap our fingers. Then this snapping of your fingers is not a kind of developing the strength to do that. It's about developing the neurological pathways in order to kind of kind of control your hands in order to have a twitch-like motion, right? Now that's you know, like when you're a kid, when you're like 1, 2, 3, whatever years old you are, when you're learning that, it takes a couple of weeks to learn, but then once you've got it, you've got it. But that's just with the literally most dexterous part of your body. Then what we're trying to do that with all our body. And so it takes years of practice and it takes a lot of kind of laying down of neurological pathways. So if you're kind of winding up in this big way, winding up and making it into a big exaggeration motion, then you never have that ability to just twitch from your core, to go from that relaxed position and then twitch. So if you have to hit someone, you don't have to wind up and hit them, you just twitch from your core. So this kind of hip vibration is about developing that twitch, that you can go from a moment's notice form straight in, rather than pulling back to Hamley and driving in Showman, like which we kind of know is ridiculous. Understand? So just small twitch feeling.
Us.
Okay, cool. One other thing I would say is, like, you know, in Okinawan karate, it's not so much in kind of Shotokan, although it was often talked about in Japan, where it's never really kind of made the leap, and not really often talked about that much here. But like this idea of shimei, like so we have our stance, but it's that like inner thigh muscle that we're trying to close to kind of make shimei. Shimei just means close, like door or shimei, close the door. Mado or shimei, close the window. It just means to close. But like this closure of your stance is kind of like that point of kime, where you're locking in your foundation, locking in your core, locking in your kind of connection points to create power, to transfer body mass in. And that ability to kind of fast twitch shimei, fast twitch the closure of your stance is super important. And this is what kind of this hip vibration teaches, where you're relaxing, then shimei, relaxing, then shimei, relaxing, shimei, relaxing, shimei. Understand? A few thumbs up. Oh yeah, a few thumbs up. Okay, guys, let's move on because we're running out of time. Well, we haven't got that much time. So from that was engage point to an engage point. So from showman to showman. This time I just so that's kind of like the next building block. Let's just go from relax point, engage, relax, relax, engage, relax. So we're going to go from Jukamai. So from Jukamai, you're in Shizen, natural position. You're just going to engage your hip, boom, Ingaksuki back. Don't wind up. Don't preface your movement. Just go. Leg drive, hip drive. Close your stance, hand blow, and back. Okay, so just from Jukamai Gaksuki. Okay, ich, ni, san, chi, go, look, chit, hatch, go, die. Okay, change. Okay, Gaksuki again. Jukamai, nice relax. Ich, ni, san, chi, go, look, chit, hatch, go, die. Okay, change stance. Guys, with the same explosive nature, Kizamazuki. Like the amount that you were rotating your hip for the Gakuzuki, rotate the same amount, obviously opposite direction for Kizamazuki. Exactly the same. Don't just strong arm it using your arm and your leg. Yes, use your arm. Yes, use your leg. Also use that twitch of your core. Understand? Okay. Left leg forward. Okay. Ich, ni, san, chi, go, look, chit, hatch, go, go. Okay, 10 more, change, right hand. Okay. Ich, ni, san, chi, go, look, chit, hatch, come, go. Okay, good, 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 good. So we spent a couple of minutes just practicing that. Then just kind of think that this direct connection, this is the next building block. First full hip rotation from your front hip, leading hip, and then back hip for the Gakuzuki and then Kizamazuki. Next, this hip vibration. So fine twitching, fine developing that twitch of your core. Next, going from Shizen, natural position, twitching in, twitching in. Okay, this is the next step. Okay, try it, guys, give it a go. Any questions? Unmute yourself and ask. Yes.
Yes, I was wondering. I was wondering the connection between kime and shimai. Can you see them separate or are they connected?
Let me hit Ross for you. He's just sworn. He's just sworn. I'm going to get him laying there. It's going to be a really strong one. It's not going to be a really strong one. It's going to be a really strong one. Okay. So, look. He just said, thanks, Alex. Look, like, you know, this kime just means to be decisive. Look at him. He's like, oh, go on and Sensei. The kime, right, just means to be decisive. Like, hayaku kimete, like, hurry up and decide. It's the description of the decisive part of the technique. So, like, obviously, in Japan, you know, for example, we'd say block and counter. They would say be receiving and then be decisive. And like, you know, anybody that knows anything about kind of neural linguistic programming, smash you, Matthew Less, you can just see him right there. Like, you know, like the words that we use have great kind of influence on how we perceive things, right? So don't think about kime as a thing. It's just the decisive part of the movement, right? And so for example, I don't decide when kime is. My body decides because the length of my arm runs out. And if it runs out, either it snaps back or I supersede that and I stop. And I can do that with my arm because it's light. I can't do that with my leg, yeah? That's why you snap back your leg, yeah? So, but like, if I don't override that, then naturally, boom, it's going to snap back. Or someone gets in the way. Someone gets in the way and boom, that point of that me hitting produces the kime. But I would argue that it doesn't necessarily start with the tension of your upper body. You have that feeling of going in and you get that tactile feedback. Like in the blink of an eye, subconscious. It's just like the Golgi tendon reflex. It's not an upper conscious level of movement. It's a subconscious movement. Yeah? It's like Golgi tendon reflex is the knee-jerk reaction. It is literally a knee-jerk reaction. So I don't think about it. It just happens naturally. Now, what I would say is that I am going forward with relaxation. Then I have that tactile response. I felt something. I felt the target. That produces that shimei, closure of my stance, locking in of my foundation. That then transfers to that kind of connection with my core. So I'm locking in my core. It then goes to my lats. It then goes to my wrists. And eventually, the superficial element of shimei is kime. This is the underneath, and this kind of, snapping of the dogi is the superficial outside. You understand? So shimei as the consequence of punching. Once you have that, then you're going to have that kind of impact. Body mass is going to be transferred effectively. It's not your mass. It's not speed times mass. It's speed times effective mass. That's the most important element. Okay, that's why someone who can be big and strong, 100 kilos, they can punch with their arm. They're punching with 10 kilos. Little old granny who's 50 kilos, 40 kilos, she punches with all her body. She has far greater effective mass. She'll be stronger than the big guy. Okay, speed times effective mass, not mass. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Alex is happy.
Sensei.
Sensei.
Follow up. Does shimei lead to kime?
Yes, that's what I've just said, Pallavi.
Okay, thank you.
So Sensei, that speaks to the need for makiwara training, because obviously a lot of our training is, right now we're punching air. So
yeah,
obviously to get that feel, we need to be hitting the makiwara, right?
For sure. Like too many people, especially in the Shotokan world, don't punch anything. Every single training session, you should punch something. Whether it be the Makiwara or Ross, I can send him around to your dojo. You can punch him. Or someone with pads. You must, often in karate, in Shotokan karate, it's the most kind of it's the most kind of studied, kind of catalogued of all the martial arts. The amount of books, DVDs, YouTube videos, blah, blah, blah. Like millions and millions of them, right? We get paralysis through analysis. We're so busy thinking, should we pivot on the heel or pivot on the ball of the foot? Hit something and then see what you do. As soon as you start hitting something, all that analysis goes out the window. Thank you, Sensei. Okay, understand? Although I'm the world's worst for analyzing things, but there we go. I've got to have a job somehow. Right, let's move on. So we've done rotation, we've done vibration, we've done twitch. Okay, let's do the kind of wave with our hip. Yeah. So I'll demonstrate with both, and then. Okay. Yeah. I want you to feel like if you've got a partner, great. Try it. If you don't have a partner, I'll give you another exercise. But imagine you're going to pivot around that hip, and then you're going to pivot around that hip like this feeling. So all you're doing is you're going 1, 2 feeling. And you're trying to effectively transfer your mass, not with power or speed, you're just kind of touching them, but you're going to rotate around one hip, and then you're going to rotate around the other. It moves your stance. It's a dynamic movement, so you can't do it and stay still. That leg has to give compensate. Yeah? So this feeling of 1, 2 feeling, and you have to kind of produce a lot of speed, because if you do it correctly, 100% of your mass is going in that direction. Understand? Yeah, thumbs up. If you don't have a partner, it's the first movement of Hyan Shoda. Well, it can be the first movement of Hyan Shoda. Lots of ways to do that, Gilan Bride. But first movement of Hyan Shoda, try rotating around your leading hip as you prepare, and then rotating around your back hip as you execute. So you have this wave action. 1, 2 feeling. Not back, forward. Forward, feeling. Wave like the block. Understand? Okay, guys, Yame, just watch out. Look, so much of what we do, it's like, I don't want to contradict what I've just said in terms of paralysis through analysis, but so much of what we do is within the nuance. There's a very big difference. I'd argue there's a small physical difference, which then escalates to a big difference in just the adjustments of your body, how you're using your body. Yeah, who was it? It was the coach for the 2012 Olympic cycling team for GB for Great Britain, and they cleaned the board with the medals. And someone asked him, how did you win all these medals? Because if they were a country in themselves, they would have come 7th in the world. They won that many medals. And he said it was the agglomeration of marginal gains. And I thought that was a perfect analogy for what we do in karate. So for sure, big guy, boom, they're going to knock it in. But like, if you're not that big guy, if you're not that like 5% of the big guys too, it doesn't really matter what they're doing. They're just going to smack someone, it'll work. If you're the 95, then we have to add up all these little marginal gains in order to become effective. So for example, I'm watching a few people, and you know, you're maybe breaking your line as you start this, breaking your line. So straight away, whenever you start adding that power, it's going to be transferred in a kind of disconnected way. Or for example, you're not kind of having that full rotation. Not that that's important, but as a training mechanism, the more you rotate, the more work you're doing with your body, the more you'll be able to then counter-rotate to develop that fast twitch, just like right at the beginning when we were doing this full rotation. Yeah, you're just adding little bit. Well, the points, for example, they seem obvious, but just that level of timing. If you're slightly landing and then pulling back, if you're not completely rotating around this knee, this back hip, and driving with this leg in order to drive 100% of your mass in that direction, it's not 100% effective. It's not 100%, it's 90%, 80%. It's not effective mass. You need those marginal gains. You understand?
Sensei.
Yeah.
Presumably there's a time and a place and a situation where these different ways of generating power are called for. So what would the situation, is it a distance thing? Like if the guy's a little further away from you and you have more time, because this seems like a double hip action.
Yeah. Okay, yame. Okay, guys, everybody watch. So was that Martin, was it? I did recognize the voice, yeah.
It was.
I can't see it. Okay. Look, guys, yeah, good question. You know, like different kind of training mechanisms, what's the appropriate kind of situation for these training mechanisms? Zero, none. These will never work. This is not effective karate. Okay? What we're doing now is not practical in any sense. But the building blocks it gives you, the physicality, the body intelligence, the physical intelligence it gives you are applicable in every situation. So, for example, like this kind of, you know, quick twitch, feeling, yeah? Then for sure, to telegraph what you're going to do in order to kind of drive into something doesn't work. But the ability to fast twitch in any situation does work. So for example, if I was gonna like, for example, if Ross was going to attack, like say Gakuduki, and I'm this kind of feeling, where I'm like hitting this kind of feeling where I'm hitting. There's lots of things that I'm doing with my hip there, and I'm adding power at various. I'm adding shimei at various motions within that arc of movement. I mean, basically, I went 1, 2, 3, 4, and within that kind of spectrum of rotation with my hips, I delivered four techniques. Okay. Now, how do you get to that point? You get to that point by training your body. How do you train your body? By these building blocks. Heian Shodan is just Heian Shodan. It's not it's a training kata. Yeah, for sure we can become inventive. For sure we can have kind of ideas of what we would do here and there and everywhere. But it was just devised as a training kata. And so, you know, this practicing of Girambarai, it is just you practicing Girambarai. It can apply to lots of different things if you want to be inventive, but it's just Girambarai to train your body. Understand? No, everybody's left. Sacrilege, how dare you say such things? Okay, guys, last one. I've got 5 minutes before I give you a break. So we have done building blocks, right? So we've done full rotation front hip, full rotation back hip. We've done vibration. Okay, you can do from shomin to shomin and also hamni to hamni. We didn't have time. Okay, we've also done twitch from jukamai shizenda to natural stance, drive, twitching in hamni, twitching in shomin. Okay, and we've done this hip wave-like action. So using your hip in 2 motions, yeah? Okay, let's do last one, central rotation, which I'd argue is probably the most important, but most difficult. So I'm gonna kind of rotate down the center of my body, hopefully. So my front side of my body is gonna be defensive. My back side of my body is gonna be offensive. And I'm, for sure, my center is kind of basically staying where it is. But I'm shifting 50% of my mass forward, 50% of my mass back, 50% of my mass forward. So it's still got good effective mass. So I want you to kind of, from Jukamai, think that you're going to block, kind of leading hand block as this hand goes in Gakuzuki. Front leg push, back leg push, and you're just driving in this way. You're probably going to make a little bit distance as you shuffle forward, but you're not stepping with your feet. You're not jumping. You are driving. Imagine if Ross is going to attack Gakuzuki, and he attacks Gakuzuki, this infield. I'm being defensive with this hand. Defensive and offensive with this hand. Understand? Try, give it a go, guys. Don't jump, don't step. Twitch from your center. Okay, yame. So, guys, we've only got 3 minutes, but I'm going to explain a few more things, give you a chance to practice one more time. If you've got any questions, ask then, yeah? But like, ultimately, like we move so much from our limbs. Like when we first start karate, we think, okay, right, left leg forward, left hand forward. That's karate. Okay. Then after 6 months, we think, oh, I've got to bend my knee and pull my elbow back. That's karate. You know, after a few more years, we're thinking about our hips. Think, okay, we have to make hand knee. Okay, that's karate. And eventually, we just kind of think, no, what karate is that projection of your sensei. You're driving your sensei in, and then that's karate. So we want to get away from this kind of moving with our limbs, stepping, moving with our legs. We just want to move from our center. So for sure, I'm projecting that part of my body forward. For sure, I'm retreating that part of my body back. And my limbs are subordinate to those points. Not only these, my hands, which are the easiest, but my legs as well. So as I do this, my legs are going to kind of compensate. Hip pulls back, legs are going to come back. Hip goes forward, legs going to go forward, this fitting. And then this hand is still going to have that mass behind it. Understand? Okay, 1 more minute, guys. Give it a go. Got any questions? Ask now.
Sensei.
Yes.
When you're switching and you're using your driving on the switch on the center, my back leg going to front leg seems delayed a little bit.
Yeah.
So is that correct? Or is that because it's a feeling I've got? And it feels like the punch is going in strong and twitching, but the legs following a little bit later. Yeah,
you're hitting within flux. Again, another yame, one more time. Guys, listen, like so often we kind of try to synchronize our limbs together, right? But that's just, again, just a training mechanism. But we don't, we want to try to kind of hit within flux. So like if we're going to hit someone, we don't want to have our front leg land and our punching hand land at the same time, because then as soon as that foot touches the ground, we're starting to reduce our effective mass. So we always want to have that sense that we're hitting in flux just before the foot lands or just as the foot is moving forward. So this is the same thing. Like if I could slow it down, if I could slow it down, it would be something like it's impossible to slow it down. But you know, you're going to hit kind of like in this position, maybe, right? Ross has agreed. Okay. You're going to hit about in that position, but it's difficult to kind of slow it down. You're in flux. So what that means is that my stance settles afterwards. Like I'm making impact and then settling afterwards. Impact and then settling afterwards. That kind of thing. Because for sure, you wouldn't be settling. You know, you're just reacting and then hitting something else. So 1, 2 feeling. You know, so for sure you go, oh, this one's going in. Ready for something else. It's not just one. But within that twitch, lots of things can happen. Understand?
Sensei.
Yes.
Yeah, just maybe I misunderstood what you say, but just when you do the move, you're starting as it's supposed to be a Gatsuki, right?
Yeah.
So you pull at the same time your hips, right? But I mean, I'm making like it's very easy to make a kind of oizuki and gyatsuki. So sometimes you make you mix your feet. So I saw you do last time. Now, like seems like you're hitting exactly when your feet are parallel or together almost. Is that the way it should be exactly on the target or something like this? You know, like sometimes you do this. That's not the idea. And sometimes this is idea, but sometimes I see that when you hit, you like your feet are when you put your feet together. Is that kind of it's a kind of Gatsuki?
really don't think anything about that. You know, I don't know if I was clear.
Okay, Felipe Sensei. I'm going to answer your question now.
Okay.
Okay, Yame, guys, Yame. So Felipe Sensei from Brazil has just asked this rather long question. Okay, now what he was asking was, like, you know, am I thinking Gakuzuki? Am I thinking Oizuki? Am I hitting in the middle? Okay, look, Oizuki, Gakuzuki, you know, these are all the same techniques. Like, there's no, like this is just skiwaza, punching technique. So there are a number of fundamental core principles to any punching technique. You know, making sure that you're hitting target, make sure you're locking it in, make sure you have speed, make sure you have body mass behind it. And the term Gakuzuki and the term Oizuki, all they're kind of doing is just describing that skiwaza, that punching technique within a certain distance. And so we like to kind of learn from these shapes. I learn the shape of Gakuzuki. So, for example, if Ross was target, then, you know, this is Gakuzuki distance. If I take a full pace back, then this is Oizuki distance. And then maybe we'll kind of somewhere in between, and we'll have this kind of Kurozuki, this kind of like a sweeping punch. But we're just trying to kind of show shapes. There's this point within the spectrum, there's this point, and then there's this point within the spectrum, rather than seeing that it's just all one big spectrum. So for example, like if I'm too far away to punch Gakuzuki, if I'm this far away, then what people end up doing is trying to fit the shape into a longer kind of elongated stance, mainly because in competition, we don't have to create power. But you wouldn't do that if you wanted to create power. If you were that distance away and you wanted to create power, boom, you'd hit them. And you just put your body mass behind it. So yes, in this case, I'm probably, if you took a snapshot, I'm probably like this with my feet together. But really, that doesn't describe my technique. My technique, it should be described by this motion of my body mass going in. And then all I'm doing is putting my body mass onto my fist at the appropriate time. You understand?